And how can we better support our schools for them to effectively implement these professional development activities or our teachers? Yun pa rin, cooperation, teamwork, yun pa rin. Okay. And what can we do better together? There needs a further policy directive to embed more deeply on Learning Action Cell and its companion teacher collaborative expertise development into all operational practices. Because the central idea is the adoption of a coordinated whole school approach to curriculum planning. Earlier, the effect size of whole school operationalization is 0.28. And we believe, isa ito, di ba? Connected to collaborative expertise which has an effect size of 1.57. We have this model, di ba? The whole school approach. Alam na natin ito. When we talk about whole school approach, pag lumalot sa Philippine government, whole of nation approach, heads, you really ensure that everyone is included in all the dealings of your school, right? The approach is actually cohesive and collaborative action by the school community that is being strategically and continually constructed to student learning, behavior, and well-being. It is, or every school has different needs and starting points. Tama di ba? Ano ba very established na? That's why when you are being assigned to a school that is already established, so we have varied needs. And with varied needs, there needs to have also varied styles of leadership and management. Whole school approach is a framework. That is a framework that can be used to assess what exists, create a plan to address gaps, and identify measures of progress. In other words, the whole school approach, when we talk about planning, this is now interconnected with your SIP or your school improvement plan. Okay. This approach includes an overarching, supportive space, a supportive, safe, and inclusive school culture. We always integrate concepts regarding gender and development, gender equity, kaya namin din kanina, make it inclusivity yesterday, learners with special needs, mga ganun. So here we have leadership for continuous improvement. The key strategies of the whole school approach: policy for prevention, early intervention response, programs to support children and school children, community partnerships, use data-driven decision-making, school accountability to students and families, and assess for race and gender equity. Ibig sabihin, holistic development of the school. Actually, this is similar to other frameworks na nag-aukit, di ba? Pag nag-iwan ka na, mga banner project, we make a framework. Nakatanan, stakeholders participation, di ba? Knowing about the needs of the teachers, of the learners, of the community, and so on and so forth. Di ba? At sa mga pwede ang leadership, ikaw leader, bali na oversee mo yung katanan. Okay. And that's the school culture. The school culture should have students as leaders and upstanders, rethinking discipline in policy-related practices, attendance policy and practice, staff support and development, classroom practices and curricula, meet service needs of students and families, and committed family engagement. When you look at the PPSSH framework, it actually captures everything. From leading strategically to building connections. Does that make sense? School-based programs in and out of the classroom that focus on social, emotional learning and respect for differences. Dapat na-capture yan in a whole school approach. School policy that prioritizes, monitors, and reports on progress for all students with a focus on eliminating disparities. In gender perspective, when we talk about eliminating disparities, hindi mo talaga to an equity or equality. What is the difference muna between equity and equality? Ano na? Because this has something to do with disparity, in eliminating disparity. What is the difference between equity and equality? Pag sinabi natin gender equality, lahat pantay-pantay. But when we say equity, what is? Correct. What is needed? We fill up or we fill in what is needed. Diba? By having equity, we can achieve equality. Pag puna, diba? Dito, for example, so ito ang kabataan, mga malnourished, pero iba-iba ka ng pagiging malnourished. Ay ba, okay na, iba talaga, mahubos na raura. Basta nakatalino feeding program, another program is talenta, para prihas, na amon sa pagkaon. Yes, you should give more to those who need. Diba? More. That is the concept of equity. That's why in our DepEd information, I guess, there is a mention of equitable, not being equal. Can you recall which part of our DepEd mission is it stated? Culture-based? Ano mission natin? To protect and promote? Na. Sige ma'am, si Ma'am Merab, memoryari niya. To protect and promote?
The right of equality, equitable, culture-based, complete basic education.
I mean, may equality na yung tahano? Sorry, may equality. Pero you mentioned that equitable, di ba? Equitable. Dapat to, culture-based, gender-sensitive. And, yeah, say motivating environment. And that captures the 4 pillars of your SIP or in the BEDP in the Department of Education. School partnerships to bring community programs and resources into the school setting to augment school capacity and address families' needs beyond the classroom. This might sound ambitious talaga, so to address families' needs beyond the classroom. No? But in a whole school approach, pwede tayo achieve. Okay. A whole school approach, dito naman tayo sa whole school approach to curriculum planning. A whole school approach to curriculum planning requires school stakeholders to be involved, to trust and become a part of the way forward. School stakeholders will be at developmentally different places in willingness and capacity to be involved in a whole school approach. This is at the minute level, dito na sa school level. But the Department of Education has been doing this. Diba? I guess in this administration, or before pa administration, sa natin kami pag-revisit sa K-12 curriculum. We did not just review by ourselves, but we invited various stakeholders. Diba? We welcomed the results of the EDCOM 2 from the business enterprises, diba? From the common people, tanan, from the perspectives of the institutions, other institutions, universities, before we have come up with the Matatag curriculum, intensive review. Okay, so sa Agudalat School, it involves our school stakeholders. Purpose, to ensure that there is a cohesive and consistent curriculum offered throughout each school, in each grade, and in each subject. Later, we will find out kung namasin ang kanya gitutumbo. To operationalize this, post-school first curriculum planning, you as school leaders need to support fully the long-term change management challenge involved, have a clear vision for the approach, and possess some curriculum expertise themselves. We should have curriculum expertise. In the evaluation that we conduct daily, mayon naghatag comment na nasulat. Master teachers should have attended this training in lieu of us, school leaders. But in the whole school approach tells us that you leaders possess curriculum expertise. Before the master teacher gets to know all of this nitty-gritty in the curriculum, you, the school head, should be the first ones to know. And that is actually one of the suggestions when we planned this out before, na nasabi namin na may mga master teachers, but we were consistent talaga, kami na Sir Ma'am Sylvia, no, school heads should attend the matatag curriculum training. Diba? Kasi sa, ang iba nga, other divisions siguro, or in other regions, para dito na ito, master teacher should be involved in the TOT. Ano na naman, when I talked with Ma'am Evelyn, kaysa kasi nag-attend virtually sa MTOT, ang sabi niya sa akin, Sir, ang sayog nga nakita namon nga weakness sa to sa TOT, sa K-12 curriculum, kay mas damo ang mga trainers na master teachers, pagabot ito sa field, diba? Pagabot na ito sa field, lubod ang mga students, lubod, mas dira lubod ng araw. So yan na, dapat mo talaga as school head should attend the TOT kay kamo ang magtitrain sa iyo mga master teachers. Parang ganon. Correct. Yes, ma'am. Magtitrain, mag-monitor, ganon. Because in a structure, you are higher than the master teachers. If you have master teachers in your school. Okay, school leaders need to what? Allocate time for this initiative. Ensure teachers have the needed time to plan appropriately and implement the program and be prepared to sustain staff efforts over time. So pagdalaanan talaga natin ng parang pero kinihin mo naman talaga niyo. In order to do this, schools need to what? Officially adopt the need for a coordinated whole school approach to curriculum planning. Ensure that curriculum planning is not left to individual teachers in isolation, but is a collective effort involving teams of teachers and oversighted by school heads. It is not also, diba, a good practice na ikaw lang na school head na pinagpalitan doon. O yeah, adi. Kaya yung whole school approach to curriculum planning. Kasi you involve, may mga master teachers, mga teachers, sige, what are your inputs for us to improve more our curriculum, our implementation of this in your classrooms? Diba? Conversations with them. And when are we going to do this? During learning action cell, diba? Mga ganyan na mga activities. Kaya na, in order to do this, schools need to what? Deeply. Diba? Bawa pa sa front office. Nagabutan lang ko ito na thoughtfully develop, thoughtfully learning action cells established in a way that enable teams of teachers to meet, discuss and plan learner learning, curriculum delivery, and assessment practices, and support strongly the development of collaborative expertise groupings throughout the school. Kaya babali ko pa mo na, do you conduct learning action cell? Ang ating ba pag-conduct learning action cell, geared towards ba ito sa paghahatag natin empowerment sa ating mga teachers para kitkonera dito ang mga gaps or lapses in their teaching? To sa co-collaborate sila na mag-improve ang kanya teaching from the perspective of the other teachers. That is really what the Department of Education wants us to practice. Collaborative expertise, learning action cell.
The whole school approach to curriculum planning has known benefits for learners. Number one is maximized learning. A whole school approach provides students with a knowledge-rich curriculum that incrementally introduces new material. It connects to previous learning and offers ample practice opportunities. This approach is particularly valuable for building depth of knowledge students need for advanced topics. Number two, equity in education. All students, regardless of the class they are in, should receive the same rich learning opportunities. A whole school approach enables teachers to reduce disparities in education and agreed on what content to teach, how to teach it, and how to assess student learning. Number three benefits for learners is effective teaching. With access to shared curriculum, teachers can spend less time on figuring out what to teach. They have more time focusing on how to teach effectively and tailoring instruction to meet individual student needs. Now, there are also benefits of whole school approach to teachers. Number one is in building expertise. Shared high-quality curriculum materials and a common instructional approach enables teachers to improve their classroom practice significantly. Teachers can discuss problems, learn from one another, and refine curriculum materials collaboratively, enhancing their teachings. Number two benefits for teachers is reduced planning load. Teachers with access to a shared bank of high-quality curriculum materials for all subjects spend less time sourcing or creating materials. This reduced individual planning load allows teachers to concentrate on other critical aspects of the roles, such as building relationships with students. What are the key elements of the whole school approach? Number one is shared school vision. School leaders should collectively agree on why, what, and how they are implementing this approach, using a clear vision as a guiding anchor. Second, detailed and sequenced curriculum materials. The school should have curriculum maps and unit plans that provide a structured framework for teaching, ensuring that knowledge and skills become increasingly sophisticated over time. This had been addressed because the Matatag curriculum has a curriculum guide that ensures that our teachers and our students increasingly sophisticated over time the knowledge that they are gaining. Next is the agreed instructional approach. An agreed upon instructional approach defines what effective teaching looks like in the classroom. It is often codified in documents like instructional playbooks. So in the Matatag shaping paper, we have already identified the pedagogical approaches that we are going to use per learning area. For kindergarten, the pedagogical approaches are constructivist, integrative, thematic, collaborative, reflective, and play-based approach. For Filipino, we will be using cooperative learning, discovery learning, hierarchical learning, and interactive integrated learning. For English, the pedagogical approaches are integration, learner-centeredness, contextualization, construction, and constructivist. For reading and literacy, we have these approaches: shared reading, guided reading, phonics, vocabulary building, comprehension strategies such as predicting, questioning, summarizing, and making connections, interactive read-aloud activities. For language, we have oral proficiency in the student's first language through play activities or socialization, idea exchange, phonemic awareness, organize their courses and verbal performances, which expose students to different language forms and vocabulary, and which includes academic terms in L1 across various content areas, associating words with real objects and pictures, as well as spoken and written text and symbols. For the good manners and right conduct, GMRC, and values education, the approaches are ethical decision-making, social and emotional learning, career guidance, virtue ethics theory, value ethics theory, interactive, experiential, and constructivism, including career development theory. For the mathematics, we will be using the discovery and inquiry-based learning, experiential and situated learning, reflective learning, cooperative learning, and constructivism approaches. For science, we will be using inquiry-based approach, problem-based learning, science and technology society approach, contextual learning, multi-interdisciplinary approach, constructivism, social cognition learning, learning style, differentiated instruction, and brain-based learning. For Araling Panlipunan, the pedagogical approaches are thematic, chronological approach, integrative, conceptual, research-based approach, interdisciplinary, and multidisciplinary approach. For Makabansa, we will be using thematic, chronological approach, integrative, conceptual, research-based, interdisciplinary, and multidisciplinary. Almost the same with Araling Panlipunan. For the Edukasyong Pangtahanan at Pangkabuhayan, IPAPA, Technology and Livelihood Education, TLE, the approaches are entrepreneurial learning, authentic learning, constructivism, contextualization, integrative, and experiential learning. For the music, arts, PE, and health or MAPI, for the music, our approaches are multicultural and integrative. For arts, it is child-centered and hands-on. For PE, activity-based, developmentally appropriate, standard-based, integrative, and inclusive. For health, we have culture-responsive, epidemiological, health and life skills-based, holistic, learner-centered, preventive, rights-based, standard, and outcomes-based, including values-based. Another key element is curriculum expertise. Curriculum leaders should be well-trained and capable of overseeing the implementation of the curriculum approach. That's why our school heads are trained in the Matatag curriculum as well. So another is on professional learning. There's an ongoing professional learning that is crucial for teachers to improve their teaching quality and consistency. So teachers need these professional learning opportunities closely aligned with the school's curriculum approach. So yung mga this training should be connected to classroom practice and help teachers implement the curriculum effectively. Instructional coaching can play a vital role in translating knowledge acquired through training into actual classroom practice. Another key element is the inducting of new teachers. New teachers should be provided with robust induction programs that introduce them to the school's curriculum approach, instructional methods, and specific curriculum materials. So the pairing of new teachers with mentors can guide them through these processes, can help them integrate smoothly into the school's educational framework. NAIAP has now the induction program for beginning teachers, the IPBT, which aims to capacitate newly hired teachers and to provide smooth transition from pre-service to in-service training. Hence, we have the IPBT. In summary, the main practical ideas of implementation revolve around the importance of collaborative, structured curriculum planning, and the provision of high-quality materials. Second, the benefits of this approach offers to both students and teachers. And number three, strong leadership, clear vision, and ongoing professional development are vital components of successful implementation. Now you know what is a whole school approach. Thank you for listening. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.